gotta tell you, I was overly impressed, man. I absolutely love this album. I love this album from whatever. From top to bottom, this album to me was solid. It was the typical. It's what I wanted from J-Rock, where you know it was very West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like. I mean, I love West Coast music, so this was very West Coast to me.
Code Red set it up.
Yeah.
It set the scene up for you nice as far as West Coast music. Hard drums. Just what a typical good West Coast album would sound like, you know. And I think as far as all the Top Dog releases, this was the first one I saw a lot of features outside of the camp.
Yeah.
You know, the Rick Ross, the Tech Nine, the who else is on?
He's on Tech Nine's label, so it makes sense for
Tech
Nine to be on. Yeah,
I thought he was just Top Dog. Oh, he did sign the Strange music, yeah. With this album.
So the first time I heard of J-Rock was what was that first single with Wayne, All My Life? And I love that track, first time I heard it. So when I listened to this album, you know what it brought me back to? It wasn't as hard as like NWA, but you know how like when you listen to that old school West Coast where it was kind of like the news report of the hood? That's exactly what I got, and I love the way that the intro was. With, you know, he was like, yeah, you know, this just happens every day, this ain't nothing new. And then when you listen to the album, you know what I'm saying, it was just very hood. I liked it, you know what I'm saying? It was very West. He brought the West back. And yo, the West is tough. The West is tough. The West is really tough. And that track he had with Kendrick Lamar, Kendrick killed that. Kendrick killed that.
You like the Black Hippie track?
I love the whole album.
Wait, Hood Gonna Love It? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, Hood Gonna Love It. Yeah, that's what Kendrick.
That's one of the tracks that kind of let me down a little bit. I didn't really kind of feel.
Was that the one that was produced by Justice?
Yeah, Justice League. Yeah.
I mean,
I liked it. I liked the whole album,
but you know, it was alright.
I liked the whole album.
Oh boy.
What? Okay. I honestly think that, and I'm glad you brought that track up. That track summed the album up perfect. You know, it did. Being a G ain't nothing. You ain't gotta like it, but the hood's gonna love it. He said it perfectly. The hood is gonna love this album. However, I mean, I left the hood behind when I left California, you know. I used to live in Santa Rosa. I used to live in Sacramento. I left that shit behind.
You ain't live in no hood. Man.
I did.
Talking about you left the hood behind.
Okay, I'm sorry, but Santa Rosa Projects, it's just the fucking hood, man. Sorry. White rice and fried chicken every night. It's just like that.
So you feel like this album is not for you?
No, it's definitely not for me. But I think it's a very solid album. I think it's got, you know, gritty, grimy production. You know, he stays on par the entire way through. It's just not an album that I think I would ever listen to again. You know, I really wanted to like this album a lot. Mainly because I love J-Rock's personality. You know, I think that the personality traits that he has is a lot of what's missing with today's hip-hop artists. He's humble. He's thankful for what he has. He appreciates hip-hop. You know, he's not an insane lyricist. He's not, you know, this crazy spitter, but he's on par.
Yeah.
He's on par. The album is 100% solid the entire way through. So if you like West Coast, hood, grimy, gritty albums, you'll love this album.
My turn?
Your turn, Mr.
Alright.
Threecreation.
I was hoping that Mike would sympathize with me on this, but I did not like it as much as I expected a lot of people in this room to say that they thought it was, you know, been there, done that. It feels like somebody in the past 20 years has done it so much better, or that we've heard it in such a surplus that it's, you know, kind of become common now. I mean, he references Snoop Dogg, he references Death Row Records, he references a lot of the West Coast stuff, and he keeps that West Coast aesthetic going, kind of like a snowball down a mountain. The thing is, he's not speeding it up. He's not like adding anything to it, you know? I mean, that's just where I'm coming from, but it just doesn't feel like it's anything that I haven't heard before. It's very, you know, kind of keyboard based in the beats. I thought a lot of the hooks were kind of weak, like on Boomerang or Elbow.
What?
They were kind of bad.
He's right. The album was derivative and basic. But I actually do agree with you, and I do sympathize with him. The album was derivative, but But again, if you like hood music, it's solid. I just wouldn't listen to it.
Boomerang. You don't know. Oh my God, oh man, I love Boomerang, man. Oh my God, wow. I can't believe that. Of all the tracks you picked, that one?
Here's my thing, Threecreation. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything brand new. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been missing from hip hop.
No, it hasn't.
Whoa.
Have you never heard a Game album?
No. Okay, but you know
What's
what?
missing?
But yo, the Game, to me, he name drops way too much, and he references New York way too much.
He rhymes just like this. It's the same kind of shit. This isn't missing. This has been in hip hop for the past 20 years.
Where
have you been?
But whether it's missing or not, it's still J-Rock.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah. So I kind of I don't feel what you're saying, Threecreation, because this is what he does, and he did it well. He did it, and he stuck within the confines of what he do and what he has been doing. Like FIFO said, he didn't go to the point where I got all this, that, and the other. He was like, yo, this is what I do. This is what I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years. And when I drop my debut album, I will give my fans what they've been waiting for, is a solid album from front to back. Period.
I agree. It's a solid collection of songs. I agree that it's a solid album as a whole. But my only thing is that when he deviates from just this whole straight up from Compton type thing, West Coast aesthetic, when he deviates from that and goes off the beaten path, like,
where did he go?
What was the track where he got all the people from Black Hippie on there? Like Kendrick Lamar, Absol.
Yeah, Say What's Up.
Say What's Up.
On that track seems like, to me, when he's getting off of this whole one-track mind type thing, that's when he shines. To me, that's when he really comes up and shines as something different and more solid than he could with this, mindset of just West Coast.
But there were a lot of things in here where he was saying, you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like there were some messages within that, which is what I like. And it goes back to what FIFO was saying. He wasn't rapping about money, cars, and hoes to some extreme level. It was really some real ass shit.
Crime, killing, shit.
Yeah, and that.
But I'm saying, that's still kind of
like you saying, like that's dumb.
One track minded.
Like that was dumb.
But I'm not taking away from the album. It's just the album would have been a better EP. That, in my opinion. The album to me would have been a better EP because there were songs on there that he could have shaved off because a lot of the songs were the same thing. Like, he could have shaved off 5 or 6 of those songs and I probably would have enjoyed it more.
5 or 6 of the songs?
There was 19 songs, wasn't there?
I agree.
Wow. What the fuck?
I thought it was
Why are you all like, what? So 13 songs is not enough for you? I would have personally, like I said, I would be happy with taking off 5 or 6 songs. I don't need 19 hood songs. I just don't.
Okay, they're all good. What's the problem?
It gets old. Didn't we say the same thing about the Tech 9 album? It was too fucking long.
But it was good.
But I didn't say it wasn't good. What about this thing? So you have no argument. So like I said, the Tech 9 album was long because there were so many fucking songs. This one, same thing. It was so long because most of the songs were about the same fucking thing. It would be different if you had 19 songs and there was like 7 that weren't hood songs. But there was like 3 that weren't hood songs. I don't need all that hood. I'm sorry.
So you're saying if you have that many songs, switch it up.
Go ahead, B.
I'm just saying, so you're saying having that many songs, you need to switch it up if you're gonna have
Exactly. Thank you. Very simply put. I appreciate that. That's what I should have said. He said it perfectly.
What did he say?
If you want to have that many fucking songs, switch it up.
You know what though? But I have to disagree with that because like what is he supposed to do? Like talk about girls and go the Drake route and be soft? No, fuck that.
What the fuck? If he's hard, he's the worst arguments ever.
I'm saying
who said he's a hard artist?
Let him put out 19 tracks. Let him put out 19 hard tracks.
What is he gonna switch it up to though?
Okay, come from a different angle. Okay, if you want to, do the Kendrick Lamar thing. Okay, I'm gonna speak about the hood from a mother's standpoint of I lost a child. Or I'm gonna come from the angle of a judge that's getting ready to sentence a young black youth for some shit that he had no control over. Come from that arena. What the fuck you talking about? There's only one angle to come from when talking about hood songs?
I'm not saying
you just went to
I'm not saying that
if he's talking right there, he has to talk about
saying that there's one angle.
What?
I'm not saying that there's one angle, but I'm saying
I gave you examples. I just gave you examples.
But I'm saying that's his angle.
It's just like Jeezy. But again, just like I said, if you're gonna write 19 hood songs, at least have some fucking differentiality in there. Don't come from from the same angle in every single song. It's that simple. I don't see how the hell you two are missing this.
Because this is J-Rock and this is what he does. This
But
is what
that's
exactly
fine.
he does well.
But just like he said, I ain't gotta like it because the hood's gonna love it. I ain't in the fucking hood. So shit.
Yeah,
I ain't gotta like it.
I don't think he may have that ability yet.
He probably does.
Rewrite a song.
No, you can tell that he has some creativity. He does. You can listen to the songs. You can tell. Like he said, when he does come away from the one-track minded.
The posse cut.
No. There were other songs on there that were a little different that I could appreciate. It's not like, you know, he has some creativity. If he is an artist, if he is a rapper, there's no way you can tell me that he can't think outside the box.
So you're saying as a true MC, you should be able
Of
to
course. So
I'm still hot as hell.
Look, with half the stuff that Mike has said, pretty much most of the stuff that Mike has said at this point, I've agreed with. And to me, the album, like, he made a Kendrick Lamar comparison, and, you know, he could do something off the beaten path. He could do something completely different and insightful and soulful and environmentally conscious of where he is. But he's not doing that, because he's not that kind of guy. He doesn't really have the attitude for it, you know? He's got this big, thuggish attitude. So, I'm fine with him doing all these hood songs. I'm fine with him doing all these big, you know, straight outta Compton type songs. I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is that they just get so samey after a while. That's my only problem. You know, it's a solid collection of songs, and again, what Mike said, you could shave, not saying 4 or 5 or 6, but you could take a couple songs off of that and make it a better album.
I understand that you guys are saying it's a solid album.
it's a solid album.
And you know, I mean, I mean, maybe I can get with the arguments. I think I don't really agree with taking songs off. Maybe the Chris Brown record, but you know, because I think that may be the weakest song on the album. But I think everything else is good. I think everything else fits. He says, "Follow Me Home," and when you put on this album, that's what you do.
Once again, if I put an album on, I don't care if it's 19 songs about something I love. I don't care if it's 19 songs about alcohol and women. 2 amazingly beautiful things. I don't want to hear 19 straight songs about alcohol and women. Switch it up a little bit. Throw in a song about heroin and women. Throw in a song about cocaine and dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Cocaine
like,
and dogs.
I'm just saying, like, that's the only way I'm really going to appreciate an album like this. Come at different angles. But, you know, if you like hood rhymes, hood music, I fully support J-Rock. Matter of fact, if J-Rock came to town, I'd probably go just because I want to support this man as an artist. I think I love the way he is. As a person, as an artist, as an MC, I appreciate what he's doing.
Threecreation to hell no.
Well, my question is, so collection, the majority of the collection of songs on this album are straight up hood songs, right? The majority,
right,
okay.
Yes.
So, what is the point of it? Is he just trying to, like, tell us, like, how tough he is, or just trying to get across, like...
Yeah, he just wants you to know what Watts, California is like, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's his hood. And like B said, the title of the album is Follow Me Home. So if you were to hang out with J-Rock and Watts, that's what you're going to go through.
Put on that album.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's why it's not for me.
I was just about to say that. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, the album title becomes a question. Like, would you follow him home? In your perspective, in your mind, are you afraid of the life he lives now? Are you kind of just like scared by the life he lives and where he lives and all that, you know, he embraces in life? I mean, at some point, I just feel like during the album, at some points, I just feel like I wouldn't mind following him home. I wouldn't mind just talking and walking down the sidewalk and just hanging out with him. I mean, to a point, it just becomes a little monotonous, and then I kind of just get bored, and then it, you know, all that hood status just kind of drops down a little bit.
So you'll follow J-Rock home? You'll follow J-Rock home?
Not all the way.
That's right.
Threecreation, be excellent to each other. Party on.